Good evening. Welcome to the Halloween live stream. Tonight we're gonna party. We're gonna set this stream to an hour. We're gonna start there. We'll see where it goes, and then you know we'll see where everything goes here. If that's not what you're here for, I'm gonna leave a link to a chicken sandwich review right up here, and you can click that and go right to that. If you don't want to hang out in the after show, when you're watching this in the recap. So, how is everybody doing tonight? If you are here in the live chat, definitely say hello. We're gonna more or less hang out, and but without any ado, I promised a wine party, so I have my wine, which was in the thumbnail. Now I have to explain the wine because we're here for an hour, and you came to get to know me a little bit. This wine is called Susukaru. It is a natural wine, orange wine that I actually learned about watching the Untitled Action Bronson show on Vice, and he drinks this wine on that show. Highly recommended it, and there's a shop locally that is able to get it. So whenever I see it, I get a few bottles. I have the wine. I have very little space to work with here, and I also did a little shopping. So I have the most gaudy goblet that I could find at the dollar store, and I have a bag of tricks, but we'll get into that later. So let's toast to Halloween. Here we go. I have my electric opener. If this came from Brookstone, I think my mother-in-law might have bought it for us. This is the best investment ever. So let's see. I think it's working. All right. I think we got it. See a little crack in the neck there. That could have been a catastrophe before we even got started here. And I always like to remove the cork. This way we don't forget it in there. All righty. I don't see anybody in the chat yet. That don't mean they ain't there. Sometimes you guys are shy, and I get it. So here we are. Glass. I need like 15 hands. So cheers. The cool thing about natural wines is they usually have some sediment. You might be able to see that on camera there, but it's usually, it is what it is. It has that sediment in it, which makes it not clear like a regular wine because there's skin contact when this is actually put in the barrel. If you want to read about natural wine, just go read about it. So, cheers to Halloween. So, this is actually an old bottle. It's turning a little bit, which means I could taste a little bit of vinegariness to it. So we probably should have opened it a little bit earlier. We do have a bottle from last year. This is a 2-year-old bottle. We do have a bottle from last year, which I'm gonna move upstairs so that we don't let it age as long as this one did in a non-optimal location. But yeah, if you notice, I have a new hairdo, and it looks like cousin Pat did notice the hairdo, and that's going to be part of the festivity tonight. Tonight this is the Halloween party, so we're gonna get as many impressions out of this wig as possible. The main impression, I think, which is the natural impression, which is why I went with the white t-shirt, which actually says, if you like food, subscribe. So if you can go ahead and do that if you have not already. I I think this is funny. Gene Simmons without makeup. Maybe I should do the makeup for the actual Halloween. But the inspiration for this, I saw this wig and I'm like, oh, I could be like Vinny Barbarino. But then I thought about it, and it's like, that's not at all my style. Like, that's like the John Travolta 70s type character from Waking Up Cotter. Or what is it with Mr. Waking Up Mr. Cotter? I don't know what the show is called. I never actually watched that show, even though my family is from Brooklyn. But I want to give a shout out to LLN's Carolina. I met him last month or earlier this month at the People of Video conference in Albany. How you doing there? So the costume, right? This I'm calling it John Travolta from from Pulp Fiction, right? So this is after the wolf cleans up everything and he's wearing the white t-shirt, which actually, that reminds me, I've noticed a lot of people on social media buying that t-shirt, that college t-shirt that John Travolta's wearing toward the end of Pulp Fiction. That's kind of a funny thing. I feel like I might need to get that. I like that comment. That chicken sandwich videos did a strange thing to my hair. Yeah, I think that might be it. I gotta, instead of the chicken sandwiches, maybe I gotta move away from that whole thing. So we will toast to Halloween here. And I was gonna bring some guests on, but everybody asked, didn't want to come on. So if we have any interest in the chat, if anybody wants to come on, I can send DMs to you guys and we can have you guys join, or we could just have me talk for an hour. I could definitely do that, because this is going to be a fun time, guys. This is going to be very different than what we usually do. It's going to be very laid back. I'm trying to talk as slowly as I can because I know I have a tendency to actually talk very fast. So given that it's going to be at least an hour, let's sit back, relax, hang out, and let me tell you a story. So I did line up a few things that I wanted to talk about. So the first story is a dining story, and you guys are here for food content, so I'm not going to completely switch it up on you. And we'll get the bag of tricks in a second here. I will actually really quickly. I'll bring you on just after I tell this story. I'll shoot you a DM on Facebook Messenger. So we ordered delivery from our local Melio service called from a place called Bombers. And this was about 2 weeks ago. It's a place that I really love to get food from, and Cassie's kind of lukewarm on it, so we almost never go there. But this is a remarkable story, and it kind of leads into a different story that I want to talk about tonight as well. So the food took forever to come, and we had ordered a little bit after peak time. So I expected it to take the full estimated time. I think they said it was going to be like 90 minutes, and I think we placed it at like 4:45 p.m. So the food didn't arrive until something like 6:45 or almost 7 o'clock. So almost a 2-hour wait. So it was a little bit, it was farther along than, we had hoped to get the food. So it was raining really hard that day. And I always like to tip a little extra when it's raining, because it's definitely, these drivers are already, killing themselves on the road, like almost literally, to keep their cars running and everything. So it's just one of those things where I want to make sure people get rewarded for their, their effort. So I actually found out that the young lady who delivered the food told me that the restaurant had actually given away our order, and she actually had to wait there for them to refulfill the order, which I thought was amazing. I could have imagined a situation where they completely ignored the order and didn't actually fulfill it and just canceled it on us. So they didn't do that. So I'm going to find you on Messenger. Where are you? Andrew, there you are. We're going to bring on my buddy Andrew, who I met at the People of Video conference. He has volunteered to come on, and that's why we make these friends. So, also, Andrew, feel free to share out the link to watch the video if you want your friends to actually see this as well. And so once he's here, I will, in the meantime, come in for a quick sip. And I'll tell you a little bit about Andrew. He has a YouTube channel where he's based out of North Carolina, and he covers news topics. So I'm going to add him to the stream here. Andrew,
how are you? Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. So what's going on? What's new with you?
Getting my Halloween costume ready.
Oh yeah. Oh, so
I'm
what's?
gonna.
Go ahead.
So my wife and I had the idea. I wasn't sure what I wanted to be, and I was like, "What if I'm like the doctor that has the cooler with the transplanted organs in it?" And she's like, "How would you do that?" I'm like, "I'll just get the fake organs on Amazon, and then I'll get the IV bags off Amazon and just fill them with blood, with fake blood."
That's funny. So are you gonna show up to your shoots at the news sites and actually in costume?
Probably not. Um, I'll probably go trick or treating with my younger cousin, and then that night should be busy, and I'll probably be busy all night.
All right. That's funny. So you can speak for a second about what you do on your YouTube channel.
So we are what they call news stringers, and we cover overnight news that you guys would see on your local morning and evening news. So we cover anything from fires to as gruesome as shootings, protests, anything that you'd see breaking on your local news.
Yeah, I when I met you, I was like, that's pretty cool because that you could imagine how, that kind of content, even something like the Associated Press could pick up something like that and, it could go viral almost.
It
So
can. We
pretty
have
cool.
one video. We had a Grammy songwriter that was killed down here in South Carolina, probably like 20 minutes from me. And he was killed in a head on fiery crash. I was the only ground camera at this scene, thanks to having a great relationship with the sheriff's office. And, even on YouTube, it's gaining 1,000 views every week. And
Wow.
it's almost at 100,000
That's
views.
crazy. So we met at this conference here in Albany called People of Video.
Mhm.
I actually, if you guys watching saw my video earlier this week, I had that as the backdrop to one of the reviews that I did. So Andrew, let me ask you, what's your impression? Was this your first time coming to Albany? And
So
what did you think of the area?
this was my first time in Albany. I'm originally from Long Island, New York. So really, I enjoyed the cooler weather. I said to my wife, I said, "Hey, if I don't come home on Monday, you know why." And unfortunately, I didn't come home Monday because my Southwest Airlines flight was canceled.
Oh,
I got to the airport, and yeah, worst came to worst, and 3 flight attendants didn't show up.
wow.
So I spent another night in Albany, which wasn't a bad thing. But for anybody that's has never attended a social media conference before, and if you're on the East Coast, look out for people of video announcements for next year. Um, I don't know about you, but it was really intimate. I loved the small atmosphere.
Yeah, I loved it. I already prepaid for next year, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely going. So before we move on here, let me just ask you quickly. So you were in town for 3 or 4 nights. Did you get to try any restaurants in the area, and what was your favorite?
So I did. I flew in Thursday night. I left Tuesday. I'm a big fan of sushi and hibachi. And sushi and hibachi down here in North Carolina is not the same as New York. And people are like, you're like joking. Like, come on, the food's the same. I'm like, no. I was like, the water in New York makes food totally different. So a couple of us, one night, myself and two other attendees went out to the Japanese hibachi restaurant up the road, and I think it's Kodo, and that was great. And then the second to last night, or the last night, Dan Courier and Roberto Blake and a couple other content creators that you guys know, Roger Wakefield, they all went out to Kodo, and Vinal was like, "Hey, Andrew, you want to come with us?" So it was myself, a lot of those guys, and another attendee, and we all just, it was great. People think at a conference, oh, you see Roberto Blake, you see Roger Wakefield, they're not going to talk to you. Like that's the impression people get, and it's totally wrong. I was sitting at the bocce table talking to Meredith Marsh, talking to Jeff Marsh, Roger Wakefield, Roberto. If you get to know them, you're friendly, you're going to make connections. They are friendly as hell. Roberto and I talked for almost that entire 2 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, a funny story about Roberto. So, the first day, which was Friday morning, he was the first speaker, And right after his talk, he came right off the stage and walked right toward me and like asked me specifically, what did you like about my talk and what do you think I can improve? Which I'm like, this guy doesn't even know me and he's already asking for that kind of feedback, which I thought was pretty incredible. So that was really cool.
I mean, I spoke to Roberto and, Jeff Barsh, as some of you guys know, he worked for major news organizations. And I was talking to Roberto about what I do. And for any of you that don't know, I'm physically disabled. So, I can walk, I don't drive. So I utilize Uber a lot. And he saw my content and he was like, you shoot all this, you're physically disabled, and you don't let anything stop you. And it's just, people don't realize the potential social media has.
Very true. Yeah, it's amazing, and yeah, your story is very inspiring to me as well. I'm fully able, and it's hard for me, so I couldn't imagine, having any kind of disability and trying to do content creation and work like like that. So I really hand it to you for that.
And I learned a couple days ago, I had a channel consultation with Daniel Batal. Amazing channel consultation at that. There were things that we spoke about that, I didn't realize was happening on my channel. Being in New York, my videos really skyrocketed because, of the city and Long Island, and just in general, people think of New York and they're like, yeah, I want to see what's going on there. And down here, they're really not picking up. And Daniel Patal had great advice. He said, work on compilation videos, work on highlight videos. And before I spoke to him, I was like, highlight videos, like one of my competitors does it, and I just found them cheesy. And he was like, no, do it. He's like, do a couple and you'll see where it goes. So
Cool.
anybody who thinks you're not going to succeed on YouTube, you will, change what you're doing. Look at what your audience is not liking. Look at what your audience is liking. We capture house fires, and every time I put out a house fire video where flames are through the roof, people pick it up like it's, candy. So,
I mean, that's kind of fitting because it is Halloween season here. So, Andrew, I want to thank you for hopping on. That was really awesome of you.
no
Um,
problem.
Thanks a lot. I got to get into this bag of tricks because people want to know what's in it. So,
Sounds good. Take care, everybody.
yep, take care. All right, so here we are. We have the bag of tricks. Now, last week we talked about what are the worst Halloween candies, and let me tell you, the hate has been pouring in on that, and I guess people might have skipped to different parts of that based on what they were looking for out of the link. And I'm gonna just take a quick sip of this vino to get a little bit of moisture going on. So anyway, I did a little shopping yesterday at the dollar store. What I wanted to do was actually decorate this area to be Halloween themed because this is the Halloween episode. They didn't have any Halloween decorations. I was a little bit too late on that, but they had plenty of candy. So, being that I was a hater on all those candies, I picked up a few of the candies that I talked about. The first being the Balmer chocolates. So, if you're not familiar with Balmer chocolate, even using the word chocolate is kind of a loose definition for this. And that's one of the things that my brother Dom, who may or may not be in the chat, he was in there before. He's the guy who said that was Gene Simmons without the makeup. So we love these Balmer candies, and there's a few different reasons why. The first is that I think there's not even any cocoa solids in these things. So that's the first funny thing about this candy. The second is it's kind of a bootleg wrapping. Let me open it up. He's telling me I'm a biter. I mean, at the dollar store, you're kind of limited in the chocolate that you can get. And I'm going to get to that point in a second. But this candy, the other reason why it's awesome is because we attended a Halloween party in 2003 and we noticed that somebody put the eyeballs, this candy made into eyeballs, in the middle of cider donuts, and we thought that was the most amazing thing we've ever seen. So you could see these candies, the wrapping is literally just foil, and these are things that people do put in Halloween bags. So I don't know, I feel like it's easy enough that if it gets wet enough, it'll be you know, like it'll be tainted. It's not like a sealed candy. This isn't, I think for 2021, not a candy I would give out to children, or I don't know, depending on where my children got it from. But anyway, so let's have a Balmer chocolate. Mm. So it's definitely chocolate flavored. And I didn't even think about how this was going to pair with the wine. But it's not like the chocolate that's on Snickers. And I'm not going to hate on these at all because Van Dominic loves them. I love them too. You can't go wrong with these candies. I do have to say, these particular ones kind of suck. I like the ones that have the crunchies in it because it gives you a little bit to chew on. These literally just disintegrate in your mouth. So that was one candy. The other chocolate that they have at the dollar store, because the Halloween candy at the dollar store is all candy. So things like pixie sticks, and it's kind of the lower tier type stuff. Actually, they did have one cool thing. I don't know how practical it'll be for the stream, but they're called Bloody Bites, and they come with fangs and a little thing of like Jello candy. I gave one to Noah last night, and he absolutely loved it. It was his favorite thing. He's playing with the fangs. It's the coolest thing. So the other chocolate that they have at this dollar store was Whoppers, and that was another thing we talked about on the stream last week. Is like Whoppers are these malt balls that are coated in this waxy chocolate that isn't really chocolate. So it was either Balmer or Whoppers if you wanted chocolate candy, and that was I didn't want Whoppers at this point. We'll probably get some of those Sunday. Cheers. Got Andrew saying the bowl of candy his wife put out last week is almost gone. Yeah, that's why I don't we have kind of a rule here, at least this year, that the Halloween candy is for Halloween. And we only bought one bag this year because we don't want it to be a situation where we're just sitting around eating all the Halloween candy that the kids didn't take. So it's on a Sunday. If we end up running out of candy, one of us can run out to the store and get candy or something like that, because like I'm not in a physical state where I could be eating Halloween candy all day. However, tonight I am in a physical state, and this is out of the bag of tricks, where I'm going to come out of Warhead's retirement. So a couple weeks ago on a stream, I mentioned that I had retired from Warheads, and it's funny because I'm going back through and editing some of these streams for shorts, and I found that clip, and I actually made a short clip out of it, and I'm kind of on the fence of whether I want to post it or not. So when I was in middle school, I was one of the only kids who would eat these Warhead candy. And this was when they first came out. It was around like the early 90s. When these came out, there were hot ones and there were sour ones. These just happen to be sour ones. It says 5 fruity flavors. There's watermelon, there's lemon, there's blue raspberry, black cherry, and apple. It's funny, there's 5 flavors, but the nutrition information has nutrition for 4 pieces. So, all right. So let's come out of Warhead's retirement for this stream. And this stream is going to be a hodgepodge. I got some more stories to tell. I want to go over a couple of news stories as well that are food related. And the whole thing is you come in, you go out. This stream is just to hang out and get to know me a little bit. Because in the content, it's kind of hard to make content that reaches wide enough and also has enough of my personality. So that's why we do the live streams. All right, what flavor should I do first? So again, we have blue raspberry, we have watermelon, lemon, black cherry, and apple. Light it up in the chat and let me know which one you want to see me eat first. I'll have like 2 or 3 of these because I don't want to wreck my tongue. Let's see. You guys are getting shy on me again. I think we're going to go right in and we'll go right for the lemon because the lemon is always the one that's the grossest. So here we are, extreme sour. Now, I don't remember them saying extreme sour back in the day, but I could be wrong. So let's see. I'll do this on camera so that you guys... There it is. This is extreme sour lemon Warhead. It puckers you right up. Like malic acid. Ooh. The sour is already gone. It just tastes like a hard candy now. These are nowhere near what they used to be. So I sound like an old man. Very sour. And we have a confirmation. You don't think they said that way back? Yeah, I don't think so. They were definitely like sour. That was a little bit sour, but nothing insane. Let's try to get some more people in this thing. How do we do that? You got Van Dominic. It's a 3-second ride and they suck. Yeah, you know, like even the candy, it doesn't taste very lemony. It's just like sweet. I don't know if that's an effect of the fact that there's so much stuff, but let's see. Sugar, corn syrup, malic acid, citric acid, canola oil. I'm going to chew this up. I'm going to move the mic away. I mean, it literally tastes like a lollipop. That literally tastes like a lollipop. I just don't know. Should we go for another? I don't want to wimp out, but at the same time, I don't want to belabor it. Let's try the apple. Part of me actually wanted to... Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate that. Part of me actually wanted to taste it so that I can gauge how likely I can give this to Noah. Because it's funny, like Noah dabbles a little bit in the hot like chips that we buy. So like 3D Doritos are like kind of spicy and he loves those. And he's tried Flamin' Hot Doritos and Flamin' Hot Cheetos and stuff. So kind of want to have some fun with him on this, but I wanted to try it before I did that just because I don't want to ruin his day. You know, he's 5 years old. I don't want to be that kind of guy. But I don't think these are... I think he'd get a kick out of the fact that it's sour. Now, somebody at work gave us durian candy. I don't know if you guys know what durian is. I know Dom does. Durian is this fruit that even Andrew Zimmern from what do you call that show? The Travel Channel, Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern. It was the one food that he had to spit out. So they had this durian candy, and it was disgusting. It even smelled disgusting. I think, Dom, you might have even tried those. All right, so here it is. Green apple. Apple, I don't know. So let's go for it. Ooh. That one's even more sour. Now, this is more of what I remember. And it's gone. That's it. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird how they do that. It literally tastes like the outside of a blow pop. All right, so that's the Warheads. And I think that was all I had Halloween candy wise. But it's a good time to come back to the vino. Warheads and wine really pair well. I don't know. I don't think candy and wine is exactly something that was ever meant to be together, but all right, next story. This one I might bring up on screen. This is a ridiculous one. Da da da. Here we go. All right. Kellogg's Pop Tarts is facing a class action lawsuit for lack of strawberries. So here's the deal. I didn't read the story because you just read the title, right? That's all you need. That gives you the whole story. No. So somebody is suing, has a class action lawsuit against Kellogg for their Pop Tarts and is claiming that the strawberry Pop Tarts and on the ingredients list, it's made with 2% or less of pears, apples, and strawberries, making the strawberry part of the name inaccurate. All right. So let's talk about this from a practical perspective first. There's not a lot of filling inside of a Pop Tart. Okay. I would argue that when you pick up a Pop Tart, the bulk of the mass of the Pop Tart, especially the frosted Pop Tart, well, not especially the frosted Pop Tart, but like it's going to be the pastry. Okay. So let's say the pastry is 60%. Let's say the frosting is 20 to 30%. That leaves 10% of the rest of it to be the filling. Okay. I think that might actually be generous. I don't think there's that much filling in a Pop Tart. How much strawberry you think really is going to be in there? I mean, it's amazing that they don't just say strawberry flavor. I don't understand why people are so up in arms about it. It reminds me, whenever I see something where somebody's being litigious about this type of thing, it reminds me of how the news blew out of proportion the McDonald's hot coffee situation back in the 90s, where um, the news basically made it out to seem like somebody ordered coffee and they sued McDonald's because it was hot. Where the story, like, yes, that's the broad strokes of what happened, but they had their setting on the burners set up way too high. They gave it to the woman uncapped or something like that, and she had put it in between her legs while she was driving. So there was more to the story that made the fact that it went to court a little bit easier to understand. But to sue over the fact that like a Subway sandwich is 11 inches, a foot long is 11 inches, or that your strawberry Pop Tart doesn't have a lot of strawberry in it. It's a strawberry, it's a Pop Tart. There's you're not you buy it in an aisle where everything has a lot of preservatives. Okay. If it were all strawberry, let's say 50% strawberry by weight, that's not going to be shelf stable for all that time. I don't care how much sugar you put in it. But also let's think about it this way. If you make strawberry jelly or strawberry jam, let's say strawberry jam. Jam is the version of jelly that has the fruit in it. Okay. So strawberry jam, recipe for strawberry jam, 3 ingredients, right? Maybe 4. Strawberries, sugar, water, and gelatin, right? It's going to have by weight more water and sugar than strawberries anyway. So let's call that 40% strawberries. So you're already down, even if this was a jelly like that, which it isn't, because they're probably adding this jelly is probably the same thing that they make fruit by the foot. So what's the difference? Like, why are you going to get upset about that? Anyway, I had to talk about that story. That was going to be a live stream topic, and I burned through it today because I didn't want to wait on that, and I figured tonight would be a good time to talk about that one. But come on, guys, like, now I need a sip of this. Another thing we're doing tonight is testing a theory that my brother had about live streams and drinking on a live stream. And I think we actually are onto something with that, because usually there's a trickle into the live stream after the beginning of it from browse features in YouTube. And I have a window open watching the analytics. And after it's been about 5 or 6 minutes since we had a new viewer come into the stream. So that's an interesting thing. Maybe this isn't going out in browse features, but I think it'll be interesting to see what happens after this goes into the replay, because it's possible that maybe people aren't on right now, or they're just not interested in clicking on something with a grown man holding a bottle of wine with a really stupid face. So there was that. So that's the Pop Tart debacle. Delete that note. What else we got here tonight? Let's see here. And you know what? I think for that, I'm just taking another sip. We're already almost down one whole glass here. I don't expect to get completely lit here tonight. It's not what we're doing. This is just a toast to Halloween, guys. We may nurse this the rest of the way for all I know. Let's see. Let's talk about the restaurant I've been trying to review for the last week. I'm not gonna name names. It's a hard time out there for independent restaurants. So I totally understand. Something might be going on or whatever it is. But I found a restaurant that has authentic Caribbean Puerto Rican food, and it's in this area. It's unheard of. You don't see that around here. So I I tried to go to it, and it was closed. The door was actually locked, but their hours on the door said they were open. So I've been kind of following it on Facebook and just making sure that they're active on Facebook. One of those things you got to make sure you do these days, and also that the hours hadn't changed and they have a website and the hours are the same between the website and the Facebook and all that, and what's posted on the door. So I went back another time, again during lunchtime when they say they're open, door locked. All right. There's people in the back, and I'm not going to be that customer that, is hanging on the door and, looking inside because when we worked at my dad's deli, I remember those customers. And it just being a worker in that situation, like you just feel a lot of anxiety. So I don't want to do that to people. So I can understand if they're not actually, open or whatever their deal is. But I went back again today and they weren't open. So I think I just need to give them a little bit of time to figure out what their deal is and move on to another place. Unfortunately means that no new review tomorrow, but I do have a different video lined up for you guys. Kind of repurpose of a previous stream, but also edited in a kind of special kind of way. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. I Not to use this stream as a plug for everything else I'm doing, but it it is a very getting content is a very um it takes a lot of planning, and especially restaurants right now, between the labor situation and ingredients, the supply chain. It's got to be hard to be in the restaurant business. So you know the moral of that story is, be patient with places that you're trying to patronize. Tip extra if you can, if you're in the position to do that. And that's kind of my point there, because it's always good to have a point. Oh, we had some new people join. That's cool. If you are new in the stream here, say hello in the live chat. I'm doing shout outs as they come in. We've only had a handful of people so far, but I would love to interact with the comments here as well, just to not have this be an hour-long ramble session from some guy wearing a Vincent Vega wig. And I guess maybe that this might be a good time to do impressions. Let's do some impressions. What got Brian G. Brian G, how you doing, buddy? And if you want to jump on, no pressure. I can shoot you the link. But all right, so let's do the Vincent Vega, right? All right, here we go. Vincent Vega. Before we do that, we need a little sip of vinegar. I got a taste with a $4. Wait, no, hold on. That was pretty crappy. All right, here we go. Ready? This is Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction. Give me that. I gotta taste a $5 milkshake. I gotta see what a $5 milkshake tastes like. So that's my best effort. I really don't I don't do well with impressions. Brian G doing well. That's awesome. What type of candy are we giving out? We that's a good question. We just bought a bag of like M&Ms and Snickers, you know, the standard kind of candy at Target, just because with all those sets of candies that they sell nowadays, there's always a sacrifice. There's always one type of candy in that bag that is not as good as the rest of them. And I've been seeing a lot more people on social media this year complaining about the quality of the individual size candy with respect to the larger candy. So I think we are seeing a shift, or maybe it's been for years like that, where the candy that's being produced for Halloween candy is a substandard version of the full candy bar. So that's very interesting to me. I never thought about that. I mean, I always noticed that the Reese's cups that are the fun size are not the same as the Reese's cups that you get in the 2-pack that you buy, you know, at a vending machine or something like that. But I never thought that the quality of the chocolate would be different. And in this case here, I think the fact that more and more people are noticing that, I think there might be something to it. So that's very interesting. So, Brian, you joined a little late. I was talking about I got some candy at the dollar store, and one of the candies that they don't have very many chocolate Halloween candies at the dollar store, but the two chocolates they have are those Balmer. These guys. Where is it? The Balmer chocolates, which are the same ones that you put inside of the cider donuts, the eyeballs and the fingers. So there's those, and then Whoppers is the other one. So I wasn't gonna go buy Whoppers because I figure Noah will probably have a lot of those from trick or treating if we do trick or treating this year. Got my dad. I want Three Musketeers. You know, Dad, you're an adult. You can go buy whatever you like. That's the beauty of being an adult. You don't have to hope that the people are going to give you crap, you know? The dollar store candy is for me here. That's what we're using for tonight. I'm putting myself through the dollar store candy. We bought Target candy for trick-or-treaters. The Palmer, it's Balmer. It's not Palmer. But yeah, with the fake peanut butter is the good one. The coins. That is good. Cider donuts. I don't know if you remember this, Brian, the cider donuts with the eyeballs in it. Maybe I could find a picture of that, because that type of thing lives in infamy. The cool thing about Google Photos is like it's very intelligent. There you go. Let's pull this up on the screen. Brian, as soon as you see this, you're going to die laughing. You know, that is, I never thought to do that, but that is a perfect little thing. Perfect little thing. So we got another 15 minutes left here, guys. And I appreciate you guys stopping by on a Thursday evening to hang out, especially being that this is the costume party. What other impressions can we do in this wig? That's I did my little John Travolta, Vinnie Barbarino impression, but what else we got? How about Emo Phillips? Just call me Mr. Butterfingers. Right? Remember from UHF? Remember in the store I used to eat the candy instead of giving it to the kids? Remember I was in the store as a kid? I could have been getting those candies from the other stores. Roseanne Barr. That's a good one. What's a good Roseanne impression? I don't want to insult anybody. I'm not here to insult anybody. But I'm glad you like that emo Phillips. Is my face red? That's a good one. That is a very good one. Let's see. What else do I got? All right, we got another website story to go over before we run out of time here. I mean, we could be here all night for all we know. If anybody wants to jump on, I'm willing to talk to anybody tonight. I would have liked it if we had some long lost Cuginos coming in here, but it's hard to line up people that want to do this type of thing. You know? Nobody really understands. All right. So, here is another story that I found. Joanna Gaines. So they used to have this show called Flip or Flop on HGTV. It was the bane of my existence. Cassie used to love to watch it. I never was big on HGTV content. And she's talking about they're talking about her tiramisu recipe that's delicious, and fans are making it twice in 1 week. It's a very cumbersome title. Now, I'm not good at copywriting. If I were, I'd be a bigger YouTuber. However, let's read this again. Joanna Gaines' tiramisu recipe is so delicious, fans are making it twice in 1 week. Why wouldn't you say they're making it twice a week? Okay. This make-ahead treat is ideal for Friendsgiving, which I mean, maybe that'll be a live stream topic. When did Friendsgiving become a thing, and how stupid is that term? All right. So here is Joanna Gaines' tiramisu. It looks delicious. Okay. I'm going to start there. I'm not going to insult anybody. You know, this looks like something that's very delicious. However, you read through the article, to make it, start by whipping up the custard in a saucepan over medium heat. Add whole milks, egg yolks. If you're making a custard, you're already not making tiramisu. Okay. And I don't like to get technical with these like definitions of what a dish is supposed to be. And again, looking at it, it looks delicious. Okay. It's probably great, but there's no custard in tiramisu. I mean, if anything, you can make like a zabaione with the egg yolks, but it's not custard. It's, I kind of think of tiramisu like it's the Italian version of banana pudding. And that kind of goes to what the definition of tiramisu is. Tiramisu is basically a trifle where you have layers of things inside of a dish or an ornate glass. You could make tiramisu in this gaudy wine glass, and it will probably be delicious. Okay. I'm stuck in my chair here. Wow. But it's not banana pudding. It's tiramisu. So you have ladyfinger cookies that are soaked in coffee and a liqueur. And from there, you have this mascarpone and egg white and yolk thing whipped together. And that's what tiramisu is. It's not a custard. That's what I tell my kids because they love banana pudding. It's kind of a nice fluffy dessert. It doesn't feel like a heavy chocolate cake. You can have a bigger portion of it because it's just like air, coffee, and rum. I mean, that's true, but like, don't tell me that you're making a custard. And whipped cream is not part of tiramisu. However, what she made looks delicious. So if you're a Joanna Gaines lover and you support what they do and buy her cookbooks, I'm sure you're going to love this recipe because it's so delicious. Her fans are making it twice in 1 week. So that's that story. Brian's on last week's topic. You know what sucked? Those wax lips things. Yeah, I never understood those. I think those are more of a novelty. It's like these. So the dollar store had these little things. They're vampire fangs, but they also come with this little packet of jelly candy that it's almost like a thin chewy fruit thing, and it's supposed to be like a bloody thing, but like what are you gonna like, you eat that candy's like one bite. But yeah, the wax lips is like chewing on a candle. But you know what was I forgot about last week that actually was good? The wax bottles with the liquid inside. Remember those? Because you drink the liquid and then you could chew the wax for like 3 or 4 chews, and then all the flavor was completely gone. That was a fun time. So let's see here. What else is going on? Throw me a topic. Bri, it held your message for review. I just removed it so we don't flag the stream. I think it wants us to keep it PG. Sorry, I know what you're saying. We got to keep it PG. Let's do a poll. Let me throw a poll up in the chat. Let's see. Are Whoppers good? There you go. Vote on that. Wax bottles are badass. Yeah, I love those wax bottles. It stinks that there's not a lot of candy stores around. Even the place inside of Crossgates, that place is like severely limited. I walked through Crossgates last week, and there's not a lot of stuff going on. Yes, it did, Brian. It caught it again. I'm actually monitoring in 2 different windows here, and it definitely caught it. Sorry. It's pretty intelligent. I mean, it might even catch it if like somebody's on the stream and I say it. I think it's that intelligent to in real time do that. I don't know if you've seen the stuff for the Pixel 6, but it's running on the same type of technology. So I bet you, like, you see how I have the Spider-Man in the backdrop here. I bet you if somebody searched for Spider-Man or black costume Spider-Man within the first 60 minutes of this video being up, this video would probably come up as a search result because it's that intelligent that it'll actually find that stuff. It's kind of ridiculous how intelligent YouTube and Google Brain is. I got this. I don't know what that means, but thanks, Dad. Thanks for the encouragement. So let's see here. We are now almost at the hour. And it's supposed to be a wine party, so let's go for a sip. A sippy. And yeah, it's a bummer about that Puerto Rican restaurant. I really had wished that I could have gone there. It's really interesting what's happening with this stream in the what do you call it? In the traffic. It's not performing like they usually do. I think, Dom, you might be onto something with that wine or whiskey thing. It might not like it. It may not like it. Let's see here. Who else we got? Oh, my dad wants to come on. Let me send you the link. Here, hold on. You can't come on if I don't send you the link. That's how this works. I'll send it to you on Facebook Messenger. So it looks like we might be getting my dad on the stream here. So all you'll need to do is click that and it'll bring you in. Let's see. Do a line from Danny Zoo. So here's the thing is I've watched Grease a lot of times. I don't remember any of the lines. What does he say in Grease? Sandy, come here, Sandy. I don't know. So we have, I think, my dad trying to hop on the live here. Maybe he's wearing a costume too. You never know. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking, right? This is a lot of fun. I'm having fun not being structured tonight. I like doing structured streams, where we're doing some deliberate topic stuff. But come here, Sandy. Sandy, don't go. Brian, did you ever see the theory about how at the end of Grease that they're dead? And the theory, it builds off the fact that the car kind of like raises up to heaven or something. You got to look this theory up, Bri. I'm gonna look it up right now. Not Cheers. Grease. Here it is. Here it is. Bri, I swear to God, this is listen to this. Listen to this. You're gonna die. I swear you're gonna crack up, right? That's me imitating Andrew Dice Clay, imitating John Travolta. All right, let me pull this onto the stream. And here we go. Share screen. All right. The dark fan theory about Grease that won't stop haunting the internet. So this is a funny one. That it's all in her head, and that here. Okay, so it's a death theory. It says, you remember at the beginning of the film, they sing about how they met in the song Summer Nights. There's a line sung by Danny claiming the pair first met when he saved her life. She nearly drowned. Her version of events is drastically different. He showed off, splashing around. Maybe Danny was exaggerating to his friends. Anyway, according to internet theory, the entire Grease story is actually the result of Sandy really drowning. The film's plot is a fever dream as she lay dying on the beach, fantasizing about romance with Danny and failing to save her life. But where is the thing? Here we go, about the car flying. So anyway, Brian, you gotta like look this up and read it. It's really funny, and it's just great how on the internet these days people come up with these like really elaborate theories for things. The car went into the sky because it was cheesy, and because it was an effect that they could do. They couldn't do CGI effects back in the early 80s when Grease was made. Come on. Come on. Probably have some technical issues. We might not be bringing Dad onto the stream after all. Ah, well. We tried. I got to do better at actually lining stuff up. I meant to actually get some pretty big heavy hitters on this thing today. It was really nice that Andrew came on to talk early on. That was kind of cool to kind of start off with a little bit of a dialogue, because watching somebody talk for an hour is, Sandy, you drowned. What are you doing, Sandy? So yeah, I there were a few people I was going to reach out to, and just the week got away with me, and I couldn't make it in time to do it. People didn't actually respond to messages, and that's what it is. So we are winding down here. We're almost at the hour. I think Dad was bluffing. At the end of the day, I think Dad was bluffing. Yeah. Next time it's not working, which is good because I'm losing my voice anyway. So guys, I kind of promised myself I was going to be the last one out of here, and we do still have people in the stream watching in the live chat. So I will not leave until I'm the last person out of the room, which means you guys are stuck with me as long as you stay here. Brian, I'll text you that information if it's all right with you. Gotta do a little bit to preserve some privacy, if you know what I mean. But I'll say not your neighborhood. No offense. We have a couple places we're taking them. All right. You guys are still here. I'm not gonna leave until you guys leave. I am not gonna leave. I will be the last person out of this building. It's like the day the laughter died. You guys ever hear the day the laughter died? It is one of the best comedy albums of all time. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but if you've never listened to it, you really have to. It is a work of art. We don't have many of those out there. And Brian, if this is you making fun, you would be amazed at how crazy people are on the internet. You would be absolutely amazed. All right, we got people dropping out. That's good. Because I told you I'm going to be the last person out of here. We got more people dropping out. That's good. I'm acting like there were tons of people in this stream. I think I appreciate everybody who was here more so than if it were a bunch of random people. I think I knew everybody. I think I could account for just about everybody who was in the stream. All right, we've gone down to basically nobody. Thanks a lot for joining, guys. Happy Halloween, and we will talk to you next week. Don't have a topic picked out yet, but I'm sure something will come up. See you.